Hello Linux users, I'm Abhishek from Its Force and I'm going to show you how to dual boot Ubuntu with Windows 10. So the dual boot means you can opt to log in into Ubuntu or Windows when you start your system. So what do you need for this tutorial? You need a computer pre-installed with Windows 10, a good internet connection so that you can download software. You should back up your Windows data to an external drive, and if you have a Windows 10 live USB or a boot repair disk, that will be good if things goes wrong. And of course a USB disk with capacity more than 2 GB. So the first thing you will do is download Ubuntu ISO. So Google for it, and from the Ubuntu website only go to the desktop, and there you'll see the latest LTS system. It shows 16.04, but it will be the same for 18.04, 17.10, 18.10 or 20.04, whichever it is, even in the future. So you download that, and then we will use a tool called Echar to make live USB. So you go to its website, download it, and then just wait for the download to finish. While we wait for the download to finish, just plug in your USB and format it. So you plugged in your USB, just quick format it to FAT32 file system. This is important to create a live USB. So just wait for a couple of seconds and you will have the format complete. While things are being downloaded, let's do something else. Let's make some free space on your Windows install, so that on this free space you will be installing Linux. How much space you should be allotting for Linux, it's completely up to you. It could be anything from 30 GB to 300 GB depending upon your system capacity. In my case, I have 223 GB of a hard disk for Windows here, and I'll be making some free space from this Windows installation itself. So I can use maximum of 147 GB, but I'm not going to use all of it because I might have to use Windows as well. So Windows will take some space as well. So 100 GB is what I'm thinking to allot to Linux. So I'll have 40 GB extra space for Windows and around 99 GB for Windows. Oh, sorry, Linux. So couple of seconds later, I have this unallocated free space created. So we will leave it like this here, and now we are going to create the live USB. So I hope by this time your download has been completed. If not, you can wait for it. Meanwhile, you can install Echar, of course. It's like any other standard Windows software. Just a couple of clicks and it will be installed. So Echar icon has appeared on the desktop, so I'm gonna just double click on it to start the application. I have already plugged in my USB. In my case, the Ubuntu ISO has been downloaded. So Bionic Desktop AMD 64. So that ISO image, I'll just put it here, and then it automatically detects the USB drive. So all you have to do is click on flash. It will take couple of minutes, normally like 2 to 3 minutes, to create the live USB. For your comfort, I'm gonna speed up the process so that you don't get bored with the just waiting for the USB to be flashed with the ISO image. So couple of minutes later, you will have the USB ready, the live USB. So you have to do what you have to do is restart your system, and when you are at the boot screen, you press F10 or F12, keep on pressing to go into the boot menu, and then boot from your USB. And now you will see a grub screen where you'll see try Ubuntu without installing. You can choose this option so that you will be booting into the live environment. So this is the way to test Ubuntu, or you can install Ubuntu from here. So just click on the install Ubuntu option on the desktop and start the process. The process is quite simple. except for one stuff which we'll be seeing in a moment. So download updates while installing, I don't prefer it because sometimes it creates problem. So now we have two options. Either we can install Ubuntu alongside Windows boot manager, we choose that and let Ubuntu handle everything on its own, or we create manual partition for root, swap and home directories in something else option. So the simplest option, if you are afraid of manual partition, is let Ubuntu handle it. If you see that option, just go for it. If you are a beginner, it's good enough for you. Ubuntu will automatically create everything for you. You don't get to choose like how much space you should be allotting, but that's not your concern for the moment. But if you are an intermediate user, or if you want more control, go for something else option and create the partitions manually. So you'll be seeing the free space which we created in from Windows, and then click on this plus sign to create some partitions here. In my case, I'll be giving around 20 GB of space to root. Root is the directory where all your softwares will be installed. So I'm gonna do it, and the partition here should be logical. So I created a root partition of space 20 GB. I have 85 GB of space remaining, and I'll be creating a swap partition now. The thing is, it's kind of debatable how much space should you be using. So just to be safe size, use half of the RAM size as space, or you can choose another size as well. You can find a good link in the description for this process. And in the last, we'll be creating the home partition with the rest of the free space available. So that's it. So we have root, swap and home partitions created. Just click on install now, and then it will be warning you for the format and all, but your Windows data is safe, don't worry. So next, it's pretty straightforward. From both options you will be coming to this screen, and it's very straightforward from here. Just you have to use your choose a username and password for logging into the newly created operating system here. So choose a good password, and of course choose require the password to log in so that you won't forget your password. And it will take a few minutes to install, but it doesn't take long. I mean, it's quicker than a typical Windows upgrade. It takes like 7-8 minutes, something like that, or even less, I think. So I'll speed up the process so that you don't get bored to death here. And it's like the battle you have almost won here, because you installed it. Just remove the USB and press enter, and then you will see the magical grub screen where you will see the option to boot into Windows and Ubuntu both. So choose Ubuntu for Ubuntu and Windows Boot Manager for Windows. I hope that you are successful in installing Ubuntu and Windows on the same system. If you like the tutorial and find it helpful, give it a thumbs up. Stay subscribed for more Ubuntu and Linux tutorials. See you. Bye bye.